We talked about last night how inflation, CPI numbers are going to come out for this month. They were not looking good at all. Actually, a lot higher than expected. And this is just a little chart so you guys can get a comparison of the US CPI year over year contributions, 2% change. This does look like volume is picking up here. And, volume's picking up here, doesn't have any bearish divergence, doesn't, we got some bullish divergence actually, and we're kind of reaching all-time highs in the past 4 years. This won't have the best effect on price, I can tell you guys that. For these cryptos, I do expect also, right, yeah, ICP or rates went up. So that's something to take into consideration. U.S. consumer price jumps most since 2008, topping all estimates, by the way, guys, all estimates. All right, so consumer prices, right, they went up 2008, right? What did we see the following year, 2008, 2009? Nothing really good. So we probably will experience some sort of large correction. Also, due to the fact, let me pull this up also, which is Grayscale's $550 million GBTC unlock. This is going to have an effect on Bitcoin. Don't let these people tell you otherwise, because let me pull this up quick. July 17th to the 16th, 240 BTC worth of GBTC becomes available to trade. Whales still crushing it. Growth cycle is complete. I do think 12 to 18K, realistically, the gap to be filled is 20K for Bitcoin. But add the massive panic. We are sure to hit at least, I would say, somewhere in the range of maybe low or the high teens in Bitcoin. But realistically, we can see Bitcoin fall to around 12K if weekly trading between 18 and 25K stays the same and interest rates are announced to go up. That easily chops Bitcoin down. That's a possibility, guys. We really could see those extremely low prices that we have been talking about. We know that we're in a bubble right now. Let's be honest with ourselves. We know that we're in a bubble, but you want to know what that means? Lower prices are going to come, in, 2-3 years from now. You'll look back at this and you'll be like, thank goodness this happened. And, I had some sort of idea that we were going to have this large drop with crypto and it'll all be good. But when is this drop going to happen? I would say probably in the next couple weeks. I do expect some bearishness. If we do make it below 30K and we hold below 30K, if we look at the daily, right? If we hold below 30K on a daily candle, even if we hold below this 31,500 level on a daily candle, I do expect us to have some extreme downside. We haven't had a daily candle close below this. A lot of buying pressure in here. And with, this sort of narrative that's being spun right now, and, I do expect price to decrease. That doesn't mean that we can't see it rise a little bit, but if you guys look at what Bitcoin has been currently doing, it's not looking too healthy. We've been talking about that quite often, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high. Even if we go all the way back, lower high, we'll just go back for a second. Lower high, right? Lower high. Here's the higher high, right? Let's go back. Higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Trump was president. The economy was doing great. Economy was doing great. Not really, but yeah. Then we had the first lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? I do expect, unless we do break this higher high or this lower high trend, don't expect too much movement to the upside unless we can get some more stimulus checks out there. I do expect stimulus checks, if we do print enough, Bitcoin could actually rise to 100K end of year. It's my price target. I would say around 4 stimulus checks per American for Bitcoin to hit 100K. That's what indicator I'm going to be using today, is the stimulus check indicator for all of you guys. But yeah, it's enough joking around. We fell through trend line. We're currently going to be retesting it. I do think that we have the possibility of breaking down after this retest and heading into somewhere around the lines of this 31,500 zone. We do have a lot of supports around the zone, and we also have a lot of support around this 31K flat zone, 31K flat. It's actually, what is this? 31,100 basically. Yeah, 31,100 zone. We do have a lot of support there, and we have a lot of support here at 30K, and also not too much support at 28K, but we do have that. hasn't hit more than once. So taking that into consideration, the downside moves is I would want to see a retest and then a engulfing candle or a large momentum to the downside, and then we break through. I'd be looking at possibly setting an order there on the downside, setting my stop loss above this resistance, 50% above this resistance, 50% above this resistance, and playing it based off of that, because I'm setting my stop losses at these two places above these candles right here and above these candles right here, because if we do make it above this line that I drew where last stop loss would be, we have a good chance of recovering these candles that we see here on the left. And that could be a nice move that you can get on the way up. We have had volatility in these zones time and time again, right? So would expect that if they can bring us that high, but who knows how high they want to bring us. All we got to do is, prepare for every which situation, and play off of it. So we're going to be getting into exactly what we're seeing on the 1 hour. We went into the daily. Daily's looking bearish. Actually, let's go into the daily some more. Let's go into divergences, okay? What are we seeing on the daily? All right. So we're seeing bearish divergence. Do you guys know what bearish divergence is? You should if you've been watching this. We're seeing higher highs on the MFI, and we're seeing lower prices, right? We're seeing lower prices on the MFI right here. As you guys can see, this is looking very bearish. This is actually just bearish divergence. We'll get into hidden bearish divergence here in a second, but this is some pretty strong divergence that we've had right here. I would expect, since we did break through these EMA levels, normally we have a nice sizable push down on the daily. When we do break through all three of them that I have in there, all I'm doing is I'm just adding moving averages to my MFI indicator. You go to settings. Oops, no, you don't. You click these three buttons, add indicator, and then you just add your moving average strategy to that, and it's looking good. Same thing happens with the RSI. I do prefer MFI over RSI. We did kind of approach somewhat the I am okay zone, where we're at the 50. Things are looking a little better, but we really couldn't hold. We couldn't even hold this 47 zone, and we broke down fairly fast off of that. We really are going to need to see a lot of momentum to the upside if we want to get to these higher prices. It needs to happen now. If they do send us down, we're just going to have a little run up, and I don't see them being able to bring up price too much, especially with all the news and the events that are coming out in the next 4 to 5 days. So we need to be on the tops of our feet the next week or so. And 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now, maybe you guys will just buy long term. You'll have accumulated a nice amount of money, and you guys, you could buy long term, not worry about this too much. But we are going to see a lot of stuff over the next 2 weeks, week and a half. I can guarantee that. Bearish divergence here. It is looking like MACD is flipping on the daily. We have a somewhat bearish signal if we do cross these MACD lines that right there. When they cross, signal. All right, so let's go on the 12-hour here. What do I see on the 12-hour? I want to see a candle, right? I want to know when this 12-hour is going to close. I want to know where it closes, because every single time we close above this 32,700 level, we talked about this yesterday. Every time we close above the 32,700 level, what happens, guys? I'll show you what happens. Right? I actually drew the box already. But every single time we've closed above it, right? We've wicked down below it. People buy in this zone. We talked about this yesterday. And we have that momentum upwards. If we broke below this zone, right? I think I actually had it down to here, because we also have that there. Right? This is another, I guess we could drag this down a little bit, because this is just a support zone. This is where people are buying, right? If we go to this zone right here, and we have a 12-hour candle close in this zone, we haven't seen that, right? Yeah, we've seen it, but they've been bullish candles. They haven't been bearish candles. I would just expect, if we do have this candle close above, and the next candle is a little bit bullish, and we do reach above a certain level, I do expect, on the 12-hour to be maybe a little bit more bullish. But considering the news that is out right now, I am not too confident on that. But yet again, got to prepare for both sides. Getting a little dry. How high do you think Bitcoin can go this year? Well, to really answer that question, you have to understand um, how high do you think the I mean, if we look at volume, right? If we look at volume, and this is more of a psychological question to kind of be completely honest. I mean, not really. Here, let me go on the new chart just because I have a bunch of shit up on there. All right, but yeah, if we look at volume, we see, that we had this downfall in volume. We talk about this all the time. Volume is not looking good on the daily. Even if we go to the smaller time frames, you could see it a lot better, but volume has been going down, 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 down. If we do have this correction in the stock market, we could really see, a year or year or two plus of, things getting corrected and not being able to reach all-time highs. We need a good economy, right? You need a good economy, right? We need a good economy if we want to see Bitcoin reach all-time highs. That's just how things are. And when we are at the certain point we are in this world, just as a GDP in total, I would say that that's not the case. When we were printing money, when we were, making it rain on all the citizens around the world, or just Americans and the Europeans and some other civilizations, we made sure that we were printing money and it was flowing into it, but it was, it's going to dry up at some point. If they do print money, I'll be bullish again. Chances are they probably will, but that's too big of a variable, and we haven't had a correction since the printing, since since they printed more tokens. I guess you could say they just released more tokens. So that's something to take into consideration. We need a good economy, right? It doesn't matter how many people use Bitcoin per se. From an analytical standpoint, it only matters how much money is really, I guess you could say, in the economy at the time when that that run up happens. 2017, 2018, great economy during those years. So yeah, let's actually go back to this chart, guys. Let's think about long term. Where was it at? Boom. So you see how 2017, this was the low CPI rates. Look how low we were, right? Look how low we were when we had that last bull run, right? I guess you could say we were higher. Oh, oops. Yeah. I mean, we were higher here, right? We had some high CPI here, which was interest rates. And then look at, boom, bull run. This kind of looks like, has some correlation. 2019, we even had a nice little run up there at the end. But yeah. When they print out money, it's a good thing, but only for a couple of years, whatever it might be. Bitcoin's definitely gonna have a correction. You can't not go around thinking that everything's perfect. Life is great. Bitcoin's gonna be at 100K by the end of the year. I would say possibly 50, 60K end of year. I don't want to say anything on that. I just don't want to. Just set your stop losses in place. I wouldn't be betting on that. All right, yeah, everything's gonna have some great crash, guys. We were talking about this yesterday, right? Interest rates are not gonna look good. They do not look good yet. They might send us up a little bit more, but if they do send us up into these zones, okay, this is where I'm looking at accumulating, laddering in shorts. If we do get up to this 36, 34, 200, going to be laddering in shorts. If we do even get to this 33 500 level, I might be hedging right here, depending on how momentum is, right? We got to look at divergence. We'll go on the shorter time frames to get you guys what I see on the shorter time frames. But yeah, I'm not really looking at getting too involved in much longs just with the current state of the news, right? So that's just my opinion a little bit. But we do see some bearish. This is bullish divergence, but we're making lower lows in price, and we have higher highs in MACD. That's what divergence is. We have it in basically every single indicator. So I would guarantee that we're going to have some push down on the hourly unless we could really break out. But I really think that this 35 100 level or this 33.68 level is the levels for today that we need to watch out for. Okay, these are the only levels that really matter to me today unless we do break above them. We have the 33.272 and we have the 33.125. These will come into play today. unless they bring us down. And I'm looking at, just laddering in probably some shorts here with a tight stop loss. We talked about that earlier. And if we do have that breakout, trying to get some of these candles that do get recovered as well. I have to take into consideration already 60% of this vector candle was recovered. Normally they'll recover 60-70% of them, then bring it down. We'll have to see what they do. I would not take that I would take that with a grain of salt. Just because we are at low prices, considering the fact they haven't had too much of a push up just yet. But yeah, this as well. This is looking extremely bearish with volume right now. Volume's looking extremely bearish. If we go on the 4-hour with volume, guys, look at this. All right, so you see how we have this this sort of higher highs with volume right here. You can think of this as some sort of bullish push up, but we are here. Let me zoom in. We are here at the 0 level. You see how we're at like 0, 1-ish level. Normally when we're at this level, we push up in price, because when we have that switch over, we'll have a nice good old push in price, and we have not seen that yet. And normally when we get to these higher levels here, we will see price kind of fall down. Maybe it'll happen in the middle. I'll show you, for example. We'll have price like fall down here in the middle somewhat. And yeah, we haven't seen that push up in volume yet. We had volume going to the upside just because we wicked down very low, and it wasn't looking too well. I do think that, we'll probably have some sort of push to these two levels and then break down. If not, if we do break out, we have our plan for the breakout. I would be looking at getting some profits, at least 60% to 70% of this vector candle, which would be around, I would say, I'll move this down to, yeah, I'll do it to here, which is 34164. So I'd be entering around here. So that'd be nice at 1.75% on the upside. I'd be risking on these shorts. Let's just say my stop loss 7.3, right? Yeah, I would do a little bit above 8.1, so that's around 1.45 or 1.54% with a good risk to reward, because we could dip down very easily to these lower levels. But that being said, that's what we're seeing on the charts in Bitcoin. Let's go on the longer time frames one more time. No, we're not. Kind of already did that a little bit. I'm just trying to see, really what we're looking. Yeah, this is looking bearish right here. RSI. I can't see here. Yeah, for the most part, we want to see RSI have a nice push here on the 15-minute, and I do think that we'll probably have some bearish divergence in place. If we do break above, I would say somewhere above. We could even put this down at. We could even put this down here. Yeah, if we see a break above, I would say somewhere above the 58 level with RSI. And we have momentum in a few other oscillators. It's just a little too early to tell right now. I need to be more active to really give you guys too accurate of a prediction. So, but I'm just looking for some more volume on the upside and actual price increase, because we have RSI going up, right? We have RSI going up, but at the same time, we don't have price going up too much. It's kind of looking like it did right here. You guys see what happened with RSI? RSI was going up here. Price was going down, right? Price was going down. RSI is going up. Price is barely going up here, which is very bearish. All right, what coins do you guys want me to get into? We'll do some TA on some coins, get some good predictions on some coins. So yeah, just again to reiterate, 33 is a level for the short term on Bitcoin. I want to see this level reached. Here, let me actually drag this down because we get it more accurate because we're on a lower time frame. 33.39 on Bitcoin needs to happen today. We also need to see the 33.125 level also on Bitcoin. That's going to be another resistance, and possibly this trend line as well. But this trend line would actually be a little bit more. It's a little bit more accurate on my other computer, but I need to change that right now. Let me just. There we go. So it touches a little better. All right, so accurate trend line would be around 32,800. And so we want to see all three of these levels broken through, and then we could start to recover some of these levels once we do break through this resistance right here at 33530. You could hedge right here. Wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if we don't see these oscillators, right? If we see these oscillators on the 15-minute extremely high, or on the 1 hour extremely low. We're not going to, or if we see them on the longer time frames extremely low, you got to go confirm on the smaller time frames if they're low or high. If we see that divergence, if we're seeing lower lows and lower lows in price, and then you guys can go compare that and then place in orders based off of that. It's a very good strategy that I use, and I'm also using this just today. I've just been using this today, but I do like it. It's volume, and I'm basically just using some sort of volume Bollinger Band. It's like estimation, or not estimation, but it's a Bollinger Band type of indicator that is just based off of volume. It's just taking the average price of volume in those ranges and making some sort of zones out of them. And when it breaks down through it and we have some momentum to the upside, the candlestick closes to the upside, I am looking for some orders on that. And we do have to have some bullish divergence or some bearish divergence if I'm going to enter a trades based off of that. But we are in a downtrend as well. If we go on the 1 hour, right, what are we below, guys? We're below the 21 and the 55 EMA. We're going to be using them as resistance. We're going to be using them as support levels. If we do break out above right here, we have to see. We're using it as resistance right now. You guys see how we wicked up above. But yeah, that's what we're currently seeing. Let's go into some altcoins. All right. We'll go into we'll go into AXC, or yeah, AXS. Oh, this coin's insane, guys. This coin's insane. If you guys are not in the Discord, got some good things on this coin, guys. This thing, it's a little stupid, but you want to know what? Things happen. Stupider things have happened in the past. But you know what? NFTs are in a craze right now. If you guys are going to be looking at buying some NFTs just because the hype is up, I would suggest you rethink, you reevaluate your decision, because at some point in the next week or two, NFTs are going to die down. This is going to be my accumulation short AXS. I'm also looking at a few other NFTs, and I'm just looking at social sentiment transactions on NFTs to try to get a gauge on how slowly are they, dying off, whatever that might be. I want to be able to get a nice accumulation on a short on NFT companies when we do have this dive with Bitcoin, but they have been pumping up. They're not showing signs of pumping up. Look at AXC or AXS right now. That's insane what it's doing. It's still looking a little bit, it actually looks a little bullish right now until we do really break some trends. It looks like we're just going to be bouncing off of this. If we do break through this trend, I would expect to come down to the 161160 position. But we're still bouncing off of EMAs, right? We're just jumping up to EMAs to the top of the rainbow. We will form a rainbow with this. I can guarantee you guys that. It will look like some sort of rainbow, right? It might be like this, might be like that, like it's gonna form a rainbow. It's gonna look beautiful. And I can't wait to, finally see the rainbow with this one. It's gonna happen at some point. I'm just, you guys gotta be patient with coins that have pumped up this much. 27% is quite a lot. We will be keeping that one on the watch list for sure. I'll be going over that one on a daily basis just to keep an eye on it. Wouldn't say place your trades just yet, as it still is pumping up. If Bitcoin does have a nice little pump here, and we do reach those resistance levels, and the volatility kind of slows down a little bit on this, which I highly doubt it will, I would look at just entering some spot shorts just because you're trying to guess some sort of top and we haven't slowed down on volatility. Right? We kind of have a little bit, right? But this is still significant volume. As you guys see here, look at how volume has dropped to the bullish side when we're at these levels. You see how volume's dropping. Instead, we had these large candles here. This does point to some sort of top in AXC or AXS. But if Bitcoin does have that run up, like I said, I would be looking to either short when we break through this trend line, or once we make some higher highs and this has a nice run up, whatever it might be, and then get into something. But it's extremely volatile. Do not use leverage, okay? You guys don't need to be using leverage to short or long. Like you guys could just do spot and make a great amount of money just using spot. And when you're using this much of volatile coins, I mean, you guys could use leverage. You guys could do whatever you want with your money, but I just want you to be the safest you can be. But yeah, for the most part, is looking pretty bearish. Look at this run up, guys. This looks like a little mountain right there. All right, so we'll go over. What do I want to go over? ADA. We'll go over ADA. Cardano. I mean, no, Cardano. We'll just do this real quick. Because the thing with Cardano is 70% of it's staked. People are going to unstake it at some point and dump it, but not that many people compared to other tokens. That's just the honest truth, man. Yeah, you could hold it, you could stake it. I don't care. That's just how I see these cycles happen. If we do have a push to, let's say, 25 K Bitcoin, or 20K, or even 12, 14, 16, 18K Bitcoin, I guarantee you'll see $1 Cardano in the future, right? So that's just a thing. You might need to wait for it, but it's just Cardano's so high right now. I mean, if you guys don't have time to do this every day, I understand. And you just might be completely new to crypto. I'm not trying to give any financial advice, but we will see a very, very low Cardano here once we do finally break through this $1 support. One thing in general, guys, one thing to keep into consideration, all right? When smart contracts come out for Cardano, you know how many people are going to be unstaking and then selling? How long have they been waiting for smart contracts? Too long, right? People sell when the news comes out, right? Or when the product comes out, whatever it is. There's going to be a large sell-off for Cardano. I can guarantee you guys that. Smart contracts come out, boom. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. All right, so yeah, I'll look into EOS, ICP, Manic. I'll do those. But yeah, for the most part, on the longer time frames, we'll go on the daily with Cardano. What do we see? Well, we see that we are reaching some sort of level where we can see that volatile push down. If you look at the daily, we have some buying back in this range, but not too much, right? We do have a slight amount of support in this range, but at the same time, if we drop through this range, right, 6% drop, we really could be looking at least from the bottom of this. This wouldn't be a bad time though if we did have a lot of bearishness like we currently do on Bitcoin in the longer time frames. Make sure to get confirmation on the shorter to be entering something. But I would say 11%, 10% to the upside though. We have this resistance level. We need to climb up above this range right here. Look at the selling pressure that we see currently right here. Okay. Look at that selling pressure. It's extremely, extremely strong. As you can see by the daily wicks, they don't want us to close above it. If we do on the shorter time frames, however, let's go on the 4-hour. On the shorter time frames, however, guys, look at resistance up here. If we close a 4-hour candle, I would say above this supply zone, we do have a good chance of retracing these candles and possibly having this movement of around 2 to 3%. I would just say it's pretty risky to be in this area, especially when Bitcoin is not looking too well. I would just say Cardano's a little bit slow, right? I mean, that's not a bad thing, especially for you guys that don't trade often, and you need to trade something on spot, first of all, and you need to be very meticulous and use strategy. But right now, Cardano is not looking too volatile. So we'll go into EOS, ICP, and then Manic. Yep. So EOS on the daily, right? The head and shoulders pattern on Cardano also. Like this shows, guys, how much is it down from all-time highs? Just a suggestion, 47%. Right? Why are they staking it? They're going to dump when smart contracts come out. We all know this, guys. Don't think that, Cardano has this amazing community that will never dump their tokens when the biggest news event of this century for Cardano comes out. They've been waiting to release this for 4 years. They had no product for goddamn like millenniums. Cardano is a nothing project. It's vaporware for however many years, and all the people that held this vaporware, they finally had their product come out. Who the hell is going to buy this product after that? Like they already did. Like they're just going to sell it. Largest event of the year came out, so be careful if you're a Cardano holder. Just my opinion, right? My opinion. When those things come out, you better have your stop loss in place, or you better sell it, whatever it might be. Just a suggestion, not a Not yelling at you. We need to see a push on the daily above these EMAs. I would say a candle close of some sort above this 13 EMA. We also have 21 and the 50 right here. But for the most part, this 13 has been acting as nice resistance. But we want to see a candle with not too much of a wick. We want to see a little bit of a higher high on that side of things, but still need to go in a little bit deeper. This is just shorter term, what we're seeing, right? We do see some sorts of support zone here, some demand for EOS down here, right? Just could be because Bitcoin pumped up that day, right? And EOS had some traders. But yeah, I do expect EOS, if we break down below this little resistance or this support zone right here, we have one, right? We also have, I guess you could say, one right here, okay, where it bounced off of. We would be looking to at least come down, I would say, to the end of this candle, at least at 36644. Let's say we break down through there. That would be around a 4.7% push to the downside if Bitcoin is looking bearish. And I would expect it to probably hold price and go on to a downtrend as it finally broke trends, right? It finally broke trend a little bit. I do expect it kind of panning out like we see right here, right? Right here, where we, we're bullish again, everyone. We had the push up, right kind of here, bullish again. Then they bring us down. It's called the bleed out. This is what they do. This is what happens. All right, so ICP now and Manic. ICP is looking, it's a little bit down from all-time highs. Let's go into the 1 hour chart. That's the thing, charting ICP. I didn't trade ICP too much, to be completely honest, just because it's like I try and filter whatever I'm trading. I don't want to trade something where I don't know, what the bottom or the top can be. And when it has such volatile movement and it's just a token that got released, kind of scares me off a little bit. But I probably learn from that next time. If ICP does come out and I do know more about it, instead of buying it, I'll be shorting it. But yeah, for the main part, not going to be talking about ICP too much. Yeah, the 1 hour, 12 hour. Yeah, we do look a little bit bearish here unless we can hold this zone. But if we do break this zone, this is around 70% of this vector that we have here. I would say probably come down to this 31 zone, if not a little bit higher. I would say, yeah, the 32 zone would be kind of, if we do break down off of this, I would expect the 32 zone, but I do expect us to come up to these EMA levels on the 12 hour. Let's see on the daily. Yeah, somewhat come up to, I would say, this 43 level maybe, and have a little push up. We just have to see what Bitcoin's doing. It could just bring it down, but that's just the upside. If we do break out of this EMA, I don't expect it to really take a moon like we did here, just because of, I think volume's probably gone down for it a lot. I'll need to check on that. Volume's down on it a lot. Probably not going to be able to break out like we did here. All right, so Matic is not the most fun coin to trade anymore, right? On the long side of things, I really do like to long more than shorting, guys. I really do. I really thoroughly enjoy longing more because you're able to make more profits. As in crypto, you tend to have the you gotta pump it up type of days where things will go up 20%, 30%, and it's very, very rare where you'll have days where everything will go up in as much percentage as it went down, which is the great thing, is that as the market is constantly growing, right? What happens is, the market is constantly getting more money, more money, more money. It's never going to go lower than it can, right? That's why it's more profitable to long, because it's going to be going up instead of, like coming down. It's more profitable to long than short because there's more money coming into it. That makes sense. But yeah, when we are going down, it's a good practice to have in some regards, if you're safe about it, if you're risk managing. And if you guys do not know how to risk manage, there's going to be a course in the Discord. To do YouTube videos on it as well. I know a lot of you guys do not like to risk manage, and you're probably not even going to like it. So right here with Matic is kind of living on the edge a little bit. I would expect some consolidation around this area. We are at 96 cents, and maybe Matic will miraculously pick up volume, but that's a lot of speculation to say. I would just not touch Matic currently at this zone, just with the slow, dead cat kind of slow. I don't know. I mean, we could have a dead cat bounce, but that's a lot of speculation. I mean, it's just more of the fact that I don't like to look at Matic or coins that don't have, some sort of chart pattern. Like, what is this? This is just a dying breed, and it doesn't have volatility. This is on the daily though. If we go on the 12 hour, it really doesn't still. But I do expect we have some support at this zone right here on the 12 hour. It's a pretty good support zone then. We have also support at the 77 level, some degree, 70 cent level. Boom. Some support level right? What do we have as resistance? Let's find that. We have this $1.16 to this $1.49. So we are at the bottom of this range in the 4-hour. If we do break through, expect price to drop a little bit more. Possibly even go down all the way to this area here. Let's see, 90-minute. All right, yeah, but for the most part, I would not currently be looking at Manic unless we did drop through support. I even do think if we do break out, I mean, the volatile movements that we've seen for Manic is not too special. That's 3 days it went up 19%. We have coins doing that on the daily basis, and it's a lot of risk to be doing that with something like Manic when we are in that downtrend. If we do break through the longer daily term trend and we push above these EMA levels, yeah, that's a good buy because normally we have large breakouts when that happens. Right? But no, not right now. All right, so I'll go through a few other coins. Let's see, what time are we at right now? 35. All right, so LTC, bet, VeChain's dying, I think. Litecoin, okay, we'll go into Litecoin. Multiple people are asking. We'll go into Perpetual, but yeah. I mean, we'll see about Litecoin. It's a little dying breed right now. I mean, this doesn't look too bullish to me, guys, for the most part. But it did come out in October. Perpetuals did pull off a nice 10x, right? It's gonna have some correction on the way down. We don't see too much. We don't see too much volatility really with LTC. We're kind of getting the same volatility that we did back here in November. That being said, right, those pushes in November, I would say that we're kind of probably looking, I mean, this is possible, $80, $100 Litecoin. Even lower than that if we do have this push down with Bitcoin. Definitely possible. This is just the longer term speculation a little bit. Weekly, we can come all the way down to 36. Kidding. Not going to happen. But we do see some sort of support here. This is what has kind of been holding price up, is on this side of the island, right? Across the bridge, we saw our friends that helped us stay up over here. And we haven't really been able to break through. Came down around here. I do expect on the weekly close, if we have a weekly close below this, probably going to be coming down to around $80 to $78 on the longer time frame. But need to have some sort of we had the bullish momentum, excuse me. We had the bullish momentum right here, and now it's just been kind of slowly dying off. It doesn't really seem to be slowing down too much. We'll have to see on that. Should be on a longer time frame, different site. Shouldn't be using perpetuals, but we're just going to do it. Won't be as accurate as me using something that has more on it. Daily is looking a little bit bearish for LTC. I want to see price. Where do we need to see price go on the daily? I would say anywhere above, like we've tested this vector right here on the daily again and again and again, and look at the divergence, the bearish divergence we're making, right? Look at the bearish divergence we're making right here on the daily. Whoops. Let me bring that up. All right. We have some sort of bearish divergence. We'll drop this a little bit. There we go. Which basically, once we do break out of that, doesn't mean we'll have a push up in price a lot, right? Doesn't mean we'll have a big push in price. What it means is momentum will have some sort of opportunity to go to the upside, but who knows, guys? I do expect a large push. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you guys. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna tell you guys to short. Just be careful, because things are really slowing down now. If we don't have that large push to the upside, it's gonna be very profitable for people just to throw it to the ground, especially when a lot of things are going to be happening in the news, like the GBTC premiums are at a terrible level, and when they do get released, I guarantee we'll see some action in price. But we need to see we need to see momentum really push up fast here with these coins. I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over with every coin. I'm not trying to be extremely bearish. Chainlink and Harmony. Oh, Harmony, great call, man. Chainlink, Tim, man. right? Harmony doing great today. But the thing with Harmony is extremely hyped up, right? We are at higher levels than we were here. Last month. May 19th crash. The May crash. This is actually May 21st crash. We saw Harmony around 29% above. We did have that break. We did test the EMAs and we broke above them again. If Bitcoin does turn to bullish, I would expect some good push with Harmony here on the 12-hour. It does look bullish if we do have a nice push with Bitcoin. That's if we could reclaim this level here on the daily. If we are looking at it on the daily, if we can reclaim the zone, now that we put it to the daily, better prediction. If we do see, right, if we do see this zone right here taken out for the most part, we do see momentum shift to the downside as we kind of do right now. I would expect price to go down, but if we are able to break above this zone, I would be a little bit more bullish with one. But yeah, that's kind of with one I would be looking for possibly some sort of push to, let's bring it down to here. We obviously using this support a little bit. You see how we have these wicks over here. Let's put this in the lower time frame, get confirmation on that. Yep. It's kind of what we're using for resistance right here. So if we can break above that resistance, go to 88 cents, but we are extremely high on most indicators and we are falling down. We are falling down, right? What happens? We cross with MFI. If we can't pick it back up, we hardly pick it back up after we cross. We do have a regular CCI bearish divergence. We have RSI also bearish divergence. RSI, MFI is better. All right, volume is going to the downside. Probably going to have some push to the downside. We'll have to see. Recover this candle. Would be looking at this neckline right here to be able to be pushed through. We also are going to have another support down here around the 77 level. But if we do break through the 77 level, that is a decent size down. We talked about the upside. That is a decent size down, though. If we do break to the 77 level, what's stopping us from not going to 73 or to around this 70 level or 68 level? Not much, right? I do think 68, 69 level is possible, as well as the 73, the 75.9 level. And on the upside, we really need to break through this. Momentum is dying off. We have bearish divergence. Momentum's dying off, guys. When you see a triple top like this and you see momentum dying down, you see RSI pushing up. Look how high RSI is right now. And look how low price is, right? This means that momentum is dying off for Harmony. I'm just trying to get that through, guys. Look at MFI. Look how high MFI was here, right? Look how high it was here. Look how high it was here. Look how high it was here. We're getting lower prices and higher MFI. That means we're getting bearish. That means we're going to dump soon. Unless we have a push of Bitcoin, we aren't going to see it. That's what I'm going to look for. I am paying attention to Harmony. So there you guys go. Now Chainlink, we'll go through Chainlink. I don't mind going through a bunch of coins, guys. I don't. Hopefully you're learning somewhat, right? We'll be doing a lot of educational stuff. You guys will have fun. Do we have... Whatever. All right. What happened to Link? What happened, Link? What happened, Link? What happened? Like, guys, come on. Like, what is this? What is this right here? Is this bullish? The top, right? The downside, right? The recovery, right? This is the relief rally, right? The relief rally right here. Desperation, hope, whatever it might be. They have that crypto sheet, whatever it might be that we go through. It's a pretty good sheet. Just happened to. It's easier to see now with volume. Definitely take that into consideration after the fact it happened, right? But yeah, definitely we need to see something pick up with Chainlink in volume on the daily, or else we're going to be going to some lower lows. We do have a zone down here that Chainlink probably most likely will bounce off of, right? Which is this zone right here. Let's bring this down too so we can get a little better picture on that. We don't have much support here. We don't have much support on the daily where Chainlink is at right now. I would expect at least a 1677.2 level with Chainlink. If not, right? If it does go lower than that, right, we could go anywhere from 14 to 15. I would say definitely look at the support that we have here on this 14, maybe a little bit above it as well. Draw another box down there. This is a supply zone. This is where people get supplied. And yeah, for the most part, I would say those two are the zones. If we break below it, let's go in the smaller time frames, confirm our supports, our resistances. Yep, boom, there's a support. We break through. We do have a support if we go to the 1 hour bet on those zones. We kind of have a zone there, right, around this 14.547, 13, and then we have this 12. I'm not going to go that low just for time's sake. If we break out, where can we go to? 20, 21. It'd be very, very hard for us to break out above this on the 4 hour though. If you guys look, right, let's go look at the momentum, right? So we have higher highs right here, right? That looks good, right? Now we're having this bearish push in RSI. At some point, right, we can have that push down, get into the super oversold zone, right? The super oversold zone that happens when we get into the super oversold zone. For the most part, we have a nice push up in price, right? We have a nice push up in price. We got into it here. We got into it here. If you guys just trade on the cross back over, most times you'll be pretty successful if you are trading when we do cross the EMAs as well. Like look at, we crossed the EMAs here. Could have bought, and that could have been your confirmation. If you guys use the EMAs to buy using these indicators, it does very, very well because, you know, you could buy here and this goes all the way up here and price could still go down because, you know, it's actually not going up in price. It's just there's, you know, more people pushing against it as well. But if you're using EMAs, it makes that a lot easier to see. See how we break through EMAs, boom, push up. Then when we come down, right, we break through EMAs, boom, to the downside. That's how I'm using that. I analyzed EOS, not doing it for 15 minutes if my shorts are possible. I already analyzed it. I think I did. It sounded like 6%. All right, yep. EOS, yeah, we did analyze it. So these are the levels 3/8 for this break. If we have this zone gets broken right here for EOS, I would expect a 3.7, what is this? 3.587 level. And you could probably break through that. There's not much resistance. We do have some sort of support here. But for the most part, I would say the 3.67 level is pretty good, but make sure to set your stop loss. We have had a large push down. We have broken through EMAs, though I do expect a retest and then to continue a downtrend, unless they do want to send us down violently, but you don't want to anticipate a violent send down, or else you're going to get, you know, you're going to lose, you know, 8 times out of 10 because they only do it 20% of the time. Right, they'll just bring us down slow, and then they'll fake us out the other 2 times. So be careful with the fake, with the violent breakdowns. Have a plan for it. You know, make sure to set your stop losses if they do it, and you know, just trade off the supports and resistances, EMAs, divergences. I'm making a whole book on it for you guys, so you guys can do that. I'll make videos too, so you can go along with it. Yeah, I think we wrapped it up there. I'll throw it in the Discord here. I'll throw Discord in the chat here so you guys can join that. Got some nice things going along with TA. But for the most part, yeah, make sure to just be careful right now. Like I said, the next week's going to be something to watch for. We'll see if we'll have that correction today. If we could break through on Bitcoin, just to wrap things up, we'll go through Ethereum too. Sorry. I forget about Ethereum just because I don't like to trade Ethereum. I get more price action from other cryptos, to be completely honest. I have traded Ethereum a few times on the crashes, but it's just an emotional, you know, attachment when I'm doing it. But for the most part, right, Bitcoin, RSI, price is getting higher, right? RSI is getting higher, price is getting a little bit lower. We also have this pushing down. This is on the 4 hour, right? 4 hour, basically we're looking bearish. 12 hour, we're looking a little bit bearish. Yep, we are. We want to see that 12 hour candle close somewhere in this zone, or else we could have that push back up. We want to see these 2 zones come into play today, which is the 33125, 3339, which that's going to be on the shorter time frames, and we have to be making sure to look at where volume is. If we have a large push in volume, we know that we're probably going to break those zones and head up towards at least this 33524 or this 33984 zone, all the way up to the 342 zone, are all possible on the upside if we have enough volume. That's if we have enough volume. But right now, we currently don't. Sentiment is not looking good, and I don't know what else to talk about besides besides how negative I am. I'm not trying to be negative, guys. I just want to be realistic. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, right? We'll go into Ethereum before I leave. But yeah, that's the downside movement is we break through this support right here, right? We have to break through these two supports, which is the 32687 zone. And then if we break through this 322 zone, we can come all the way down. I would say I'll move this box up a little bit. Think, right? We can come down somewhere between the 32K. We break through that. I could see a 31,500 zone being hit today, or a 31,100 zone being hit today. Just going to be watching it, going to be paying attention. But for the most part, right, anticipate exactly what we're going to see in momentum. We did see a little fake out right here on the 15, right? We saw that. Didn't see that actually, but yeah. So that's going to be the end of the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day.